Hi, I'm Chane Che. I've lived through both Korea and the United States, and I've seen how power really works, not only in politics, but in ships, technology, and finance. Let me tell you why America's future may depend on South Korea. America's naval power is fading. China and Russia are advancing with hypersonic weapons, and the US Navy can no longer build warships fast enough. But there is one nation that really holds the spear and the shield. A nation with unmatched shipbuilding, cutting-edge air defense, and the semiconductors that power AI and modern weapons. That nation is South Korea. Today, I will explain why South Korea is not just an ally, but America's last card. 20 years ago, the US deployed THAAD against ballistic missiles. But against China's hypersonic glide vehicles, THAAD is almost obsolete. Now, South Korea has developed LSAM-2, superior even to THAAD extended range. LSAM-1, equivalent to THAAD. LSAM-2, beyond THAAD extended range. Interception altitude, up to 500 km outside the atmosphere. And unlike the US, South Korea plans to deploy more LSAM launchers at sea than on land. Dozens of naval units carried by destroyers and frigates, forming a vast missile shield across the ocean. Together with the Cheongung-2, Cheongung-3, and CMSAM, Korea has built a multi-layered missile defense that even the US Navy does not fully possess. This is why Korea is already the only nation with both the hypersonic, spear, and shield. Korea's goal is not only to defend the peninsula, it's preparing a Bluewater task force. The KDDX next generation destroyer will power lasers and rail guns. Naval LSAMs will provide long-range defense. Air power, a naval variant of the KF-21, securing air superiority. Swarms of unmanned aircraft for strike, electronic warfare, and satellite link command. This fleet will extend Korea's defense from the peninsula to the Taiwan Strait, the South China Sea, and even the Arctic route. South Korea is preparing not just to survive, but to secure world sea lanes. China is rehearsing an invasion of Taiwan with Russian airborne tactics and hybrid warfare. If Taiwan falls, global trade routes will be disrupted, and then the US will rely on one country, above all, South Korea. Semiconductors. 99% of advanced chips come from Korea and Taiwan. If Taiwan is taken, only Korea remains. Munitions. Korea is the world #1 producer of 155mm shells, more than the US and Europe combined. Thousands of stored K-55 self-propelled howitzers are comparable with Taiwan's M109. Geography: Korean fleets can project missile defense across the Pacific choke points. In short, America cannot hold the line in Asia alone. The last card is South Korea. Military power is economic power. China is the world factory. But without open sea, it collapsed. The US lost its factories, but still controls the dollars and the Wall Street. Meantime, Korea leads in shipbuilding, semiconductors, batteries, and robotics. In the US-China rivalry, Korea is the balance point. In 2023, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, declares Korea the capital of AI investment. Elon Musk also pointed to Korea as a candidate for his next mega factory. Why Korea? Not low wages, not subsidies, but the most reliable supply chain in the world, and the speed and precision of the Korean people. That is why capital and innovation are converging on Seoul. The US Navy cannot survive without rebuilding its fleet, but American shipyards can no longer build aircraft carriers, submarines, or destroyers at speed. The solution is Korea. World number one in shipbuilding, Korea must design and manage US naval constructions, but not through individual companies entering the US. Unions and local politics will block them. The answer: dedicated joint shipyard, special yard run under Korean design and management inside the South Korea, building ships for the US Navy. Without this, the US Navy will fade. South Korea has already secured the power to defend the peninsula. Now it's preparing fleets to shield global sea routes, hypersonic defense, shipbuilding, semiconductors, AI, robotics. Combined, these make Korea the center of the 21st century order. But Korea is not here to surpass America. It's here to lift America. America's last card is South Korea.